So we're back again. And if you've been looking at anything related to gaming news lately, it's my dog down here again. Um, you would have known that Resident Evil 9 just came out. And since Resident Evil 9 just came out, there's talk of character portrayal in Resident Evil 9. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know I'm talking about the fact that the gooners working at Capcom heavily sexualized Leon, even though he's a 51-year-old married man now in Resident Evil 9. And you look at, what's your name, Grace? I didn't play Resident Evil 8, so I don't know. But I know she's Ethan's kid. Um, she's not sexualized at all. Now, she's like, I don't know, 23. She's in her 20s or something. But she's like flat chested and completely, carries no body shape that of a adult woman, right? And I'm not saying she has to, but why the fuck are we sexualizing Leon and not anyone else? And this is the double standard, right? Is you hear as a dude, right? We might go off the rails with this one today. All these women say that if you're a man and you have sexual, desire or sexual preference or having a type or whatever is like bad. Even like basic shit, like I said, like having a type. I've been told that I can't have a type. I've been told that before. So anyway, all these gooner women are freaking out over Leon in the new RE9, and it's fucking, it's weird, dude. It's weird because I've heard more sexual things, like genuine sexual things, from women online and in my friend circle than I've ever heard a man say anything sexual, especially about a woman. So then it's probably because men don't say anything sexual about women anymore because they know if they do, they get fucking canceled within a microsecond. So what are you even supposed to do? So that just goes to show you that, and this carries over into the online and interconnected world because you look at people who how do you explain this? Hold on one sec. That's what it was. Yesterday on my break, I was watching some video about Resident Evil 9 and this controversy with the Leon sexualization. And the problem is, after they sexualized him and people were talking about it, this isn't even being super talked about because it's a woman sexualizing a man thing. The several online outlets and social medias and etc. are calling men who talk about this incels. Just for existing, just for saying like, hey, this is kind of fucked. Like, we used to think that Ada Wong or fucking Meryl from MGS or Eva or, we used to think those characters were hot. Even Lady from Devil May Cry, whatever, or Trish. But you guys demonized this for so many fucking years. And now that Leon's being sexualized, and also the way he's being sexualized in game was like kind of against his consent, which is like definitely dubious. There's a scene where he's tied to a chair and like a villain like tucks his hair behind his ear. Why he does that, I don't know. Maybe because he's the villain. But he does that, and then, excuse me, he does that, and then a whole bunch of women were like, yo, raw, in the car, in the street, on the couch, in the rain, in the public eye. I don't care. Wherever he wants it, I'd give it to him. Some woman said that. Some woman fucking said that about this non-existent character. This shows you how fucked we are. This shows you how fucked we are. I'm sorry, Milo. He's hanging out back there. This shows you how fucked we are, dude. Because women will sit here and go bananas for their gooner brained sexualization of male characters, but they will never actually date a real motherfucker because they're femcells. And I'll be honest with you, if you think femcells don't exist, you haven't met enough people. Because I've already met one femcell. And it wasn't just me that agreed that she's a femcell. But 2 or 3 other dudes was like, yeah, she's okay. Anyway. But that just goes to show you like how this shit is happening nowadays. Like, if you express, like, you'll get demonized, but not the women. The fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing? Okay? And it reaches a point where it's like, I wouldn't say media is not allowed to be sexualized, but it can only, in my opinion, be sexualized in under a certain context. Because Leon being sexualized has absolutely nothing to do with the plot. Like, this isn't a romance game. There is no romance in the story because Leon's married. We don't know who his wife is, but he's married. And that one stray hair sticking out, sorry. He's married. We don't know who his wife is, but at this point in time, no one should be sexualizing him but his wife because he's married. So, but if the romance serves the plot, like how it does in Metal Gear Solid 3, or even any Metal Gear Solid game, basically there's romance to the plot, or there's a romance subplot. There's never really any of that in Resident Evil. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's not. Maybe there's a romance subplot in Resident Evil 4. Maybe 4 and 6. But like, why the fuck is it here? You know what I mean? And unless you're looking at like a piece of media that has romance as a subplot, why is there being sexualization of the characters? Like, if you go back and you look at Resident Evil 5, every time Sheva's on camera, her ass is also in the shot. Like, she's first introduced. If you've played Resident Evil 5, she's first introduced by her ass. Like, there's an ass shot, right? When she walks up to Chris to introduce herself as his partner. There's an ass shot before you even see her face, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just makes me mad. I'm like, why the fuck is this here? Or like, you play MGS5 and like Quiet, when you have a certain bond level with Quiet, she'll like regularly put her ass in the camera. Why? Like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, I'm not saying it's bad inherently. It's not like pornographic. But why the fuck are we doing that? And I know why. It's because sex sells. People will buy it because there's sex stuff in it. Like, I knew people. I wish I was fucking kidding you when I say this. I've known people who bought Cyberpunk because you can have sex scenes in it. My brother, Pornhub is free. Why are you know what I'm saying? Why are you buying a $60 video game to see that? That's fucking crazy to me. Plus, you gotta actually play it. You gotta play the game for like 6 hours before you can even do that, I think. I never was into Cyberpunk personally, but literally, people were calling, I don't remember if I said it already, people were calling, mostly women, were calling guys who were like, why the fuck is there this double standard for Leon? These women were calling these people Incels. And this goes to show you, again, the social contract thing, as I said in the last video, is fully abolished because I've heard people call men incels in real life. In real life. I've heard women call men incels in real life. Like in my local fucking store, on the job. Why are we doing that? Why the fuck are we doing that? I've never been called an incel. I'm sure behind my back I've been called an incel. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Okay? It's really lame, and that goes to show you why all the dudes are opting out. Like I said in the last video. If somebody told you, hey dude, let's play this game. It's really fucking hard, and you literally cannot win. Why the fuck would you play? Anyway, that's a tangent. That's not related to this video, but another video. The double standard shit will never go away. Because as long as society continues to push the idea that all women are innocent little fairy, like, ethereal beings, we'll never be rid of this shit. Because society, in America anyway, pushes that men are dangerous. Men are scary. Men are easily corrupted. Men are etc., etc. Men are murderers and rapists. Okay? As long as society pushes that, we can never be the victim of anything. Anything. And I'm not saying we need to be victims, okay? God forbid. I don't want people to come out here and think that anyone's a victim because they decided that I don't want to be harassed by a woman or even another man. Like sexually. That's the problem though, is that when these gooner teachers come out and they molest a boy from their class, it's not treated like a serious issue. They go, oh, he was lucky to receive that attention. I wish I could have received that attention at his age. Oh, I wish this, that, and the third. You wish you could be molested by your teacher when you were 12 years old. We should lock you up. I've heard people who said that. Oh, he probably liked it. He was probably into it. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's a child. That's a boy. That's a little boy. And yet here you still are saying shit like that. You're fucking foul. But like I said, there will never be a point where this stuff is taken seriously as long as men are always perceived as the dominant class of being. And that since men do more crime than women on average, and etc., etc., all those stupid fucking statistics that are 100 years old by this point, they will not ever be treated with the seriousness in the scenarios like this. God forbid you're also like a normie or a sub 5. Because you look at what that fucking doctor did. I think he was cancer. He was a leukemia or a radiologist or something, and he died. They look-smaxed his photo. They edited his fucking photo. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. They edited his photo. They made his jaw more square. They made his hairline fuller. They made his shirt tighter to like... They like CGI'd his whole fucking photo. They made his arms look bigger. So he would garner more sympathy and get more donations because he's more attractive. That fucking guy's dead. You see what I'm saying? Like, the double standard will never go away. That'd be like if some nurse died and she was like one of the best nurses at this hospital, and she died, and you know, when she died, they de-aged her in her photo, and while looking for the donations, they de-aged her and they made her breasts bigger. They gave her like a fucking C cup or a D cup, and they fucking, you know, made her look paler, gave her you know what I mean, graveyard tan, and got rid of her age spots. It'd be like if they did that fucking shit. They'll never do that for a woman. They'll do it for a fucking dude. Because the double standard is fucking insane, like I've been saying for all this time. And like, if you even, this is what I say. I wouldn't say my channel's for Gen Z people, but it applies to them the most. If you have a conversation of any length of time about men to a woman who's my age, you'll get blackpilled so fucking fast, dude. And like, I'm not a black pillar, but sometimes you start sipping on the black pill a little fucking too hard, right? And you're like, the rabbit hole goes fucking forever. Because one of my friends from my job, who's a woman, thinks that all men think about sex all the time, always. And I said, that's just not true. It's not true. We'd get nothing done, first of all. It's impossible to think about that all the time. So get that shit out of your head. Second, why the fuck would we do that? Like, that's not true objectively, okay? We can't do that. I would honestly say, because women act like they don't have sexual organs, like in their brain, like parts of their brain are sexualized. They just are, right? There's parts of the brain that just tell you to get horned up at any time, right? Any one time. It's not bad to have sexual desire. It's not bad, okay? That's the thing, is that we're demonizing sexual desire when it's just a human fucking trait. Even the Bible doesn't demonize sexual desire. That's the funniest part about this whole fucking thing. The Bible doesn't think having sexual desire is bad, okay? It's just a human condition. Now, what you do with that desire, that can be good or bad. Usually bad, in the case of the Bible. Because if you're not married, you're outside of God's covenant with what you're doing. But anyhow, I'm not here to preach at you today. They always say that men are dogs. Men are always horny. Men just want sex. I don't want sex as much as I want a woman to actually love me, bro. And that's most guys. It's most fucking guys my age, right? Is like, most dudes just want a woman who will actually love them and be nice to them. Because most dudes, like, here's the thing. I know this video is all over the place. Most dudes, when they played Metal Gear, found Snake, so Solid Snake and Big Boss and Venom Snake, to be extremely relatable. You know why? Because they are basically fucking outcasted, right? Snake is a clone. Snake is a clone with a limited lifespan, much more so than anyone else. He only lived to be about, 50 years old at the oldest, because he's accelerated aging. So he lived half the lifespan of a normal person. Okay? And he's like and you go play MGS5, and the meme of Invisible by Duran Duran. He's just a impersonation of the real guy in MGS5, of the real big boss. That's what it feels like as the average dude. You're just impersonating some other person so you can appeal to the masses of other people. And now me, I don't fucking do that anymore. Okay? I haven't done that. It comes out here and there. But I haven't seriously done that since I was like 15 or younger. Because I said, why the fuck am I putting on a show for all these people who could give a fuck about me? And that's the double standard again. This is the double standard taking in effect. I know this started about gaming, but this is like everything now. The double standard is, as a man, few people give a shit about you. Okay? This is another important video in my opinion. Few people give a shit about you as a man. As a woman, everyone gives a shit about you. Everyone. Okay? Now, According to my father, this is old news. It's always been this way. Look at that guy back there. Look at that guy. Look at that. Ooh, look at that guy. What a good boy. Everyone gives a shit about you. Like, see, being a woman is like being this guy. I have to weigh on his every need because he's just a baby. Oh, look at this. Look at this baby. Oh, he's such a good boy. But look, as a woman, like I said, people want to do any and everything for you. Okay? Now, I went to work yesterday and I was upset. I was kind of mad. Didn't want to be there. So I didn't want to talk. Like, I had maybe said 55 words all day yesterday at work because I filmed the video yesterday before work. And I got to work and everybody was asking me, hey, are you okay? Hey, you all right? Is something wrong? You want to talk about it? Motherfucker, I just don't want to be here, right? Just don't want to be here. Don't want to talk to you. But when you're a woman, and now here's the thing. As a dude, I could tell that their response to me acting a little different was false. It was fake. They didn't actually give a shit about how I was doing. I can fucking tell you that for positive. Because as a dude, I'm telling you, as a dude, you're supposed to be an android. You're supposed to be a non-feeling, all logic-based tactician strategist. That's what a man is supposed to be in the eyes of the public. I got like phlegm. I don't know what the hell that was. Sorry. But that happens. And for example, you're not supposed to like grieve as a dude. You're like not given time to do that at all. When my mother passed, I got 4 days. I got like 3 or 4 days of reprieve for my job. My fucking mother died. I guess the cancer finally ate away at her nervous system. And unfortunately, I had to go to the bank that morning and she died. My father made it home just in time. Maybe half hour. She passed. He literally got home and made breakfast. And she passed. She passed, I think, just as I walked in the door. I didn't even know what to do. But this isn't about me. This is about all men. And I know this shit happens to a lot of men where, your mother, your father passes. You aren't given time. You're just not given time. You're not given enough time to deal with what you need to deal with. I was given 4 days, 3 or 4 days. I don't remember exactly. It was not that much time at all. I was kind of just told, yeah, we put you back on the schedule on Thursday. Get the fuck in here. I got a text from my boss who does not have my number. Someone gave him my number so he could tell me that. It's fucking disgusting, dude. Fucking despicable is what that is. So, I did that. I had to go back to work. But I'm not saying if I was a woman I'd gotten more time. I think that's very possible. That if I was a woman I would have gotten more time. And just like other people will tell you as a man that, oh, she's hot. Like there's this weird fucking discrepancy between like the men and women, not allegiance, but it's like the social standing, right? Like my manager, my fucking supervisor was telling me, I'm going to start using real names because I know you guys are getting confused. My friend Megan is the one that goes climbing with me. We used to. She's also the one that now has, I think, blocked or removed me on social media. So I don't give a fuck. Or we're going to say names now. My manager, supervisor, John, was accusing me of being sexually attracted to Megan. And I said, I'm not into her at all, dude. And she's got a man. I don't like her, bro. Like, just I'm not. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, as soon as I met her, I'm like, okay. When I first met her, I thought, maybe I'll go talk to her like that. But I had an inkling in my soul. I don't know if it was God speaking to me. I never felt it ever before or since. It felt completely different than intuition, okay? But I felt God, I don't know, pull on my chest, like in my core of my being. And it felt, I swear something told me she's not meant for you. Okay? So I never talked to her like that. When I first met her, first, at the very beginning, like within 10 seconds of knowing her, I was like, maybe I'll. And then it was like, no, don't do that. So anyway, I've been completely uninterested in her ever since that. Romantically, that is. We're good friends. We're cool. We were anyway. But here's the thing. When I was upset yesterday at work, this shows you. This fucking shows you the double standard. The only people who asked me if I was good were men. She did not ask me. Megan did not ask me if I was good. Her sister did not ask me if I was all right. I'm not saying I wanted them to, but I'm just saying the fact of the matter is they did not care. And here's why the social contract, maybe I'll just call this social contract part 2. I don't know. Here's why the social contract is broken. Because women flat out do not care about the average dude. They do not. You cannot provide them anything. So they don't care about you. They care about their boyfriend because he provides them stuff. They care about their own father, unless he's a fucking deadbeat in Megan's case. They care about their granddad, if he's still alive, because he can provide them things. If my father, okay, imagine your girlfriend if you have one. God knows no one's dating in 2026. But if you can't provide something to your girlfriend, would she stay with you? Honestly, would she fucking stay with you? Especially if you've been together for a while. Because you've probably been providing her things. You've probably been taking her to dinner. You've probably been buying her stuff for her birthday or just on random occasions for no fucking reason. If you stop doing that, would she stay with you? Would she? My father always took care of my mother. Always. Until the day she passed. Did he buy her extravagant shit? No. Did he take her out to eat? Yeah. In fact, there was more places that he told me recently. I'm so sorry for my dad, man. But he told me that there's places he wished he would have remembered to take my mother. Because now he can't. And I was like, motherfuck, bro. This is the stuff that happens, though, when your spouse dies. You're just like, all this shit you just remember. Because this is things she wanted to do. And you didn't have the time because you had to work your life away. But if you lead with that, this is why I told you there's so many facets to dating now of why it's so fucked. And why the social contract of what men are supposed to do is not returning because women are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So if women are like, yeah, take me out to a special 5-star dinner. Fuck no. Because if I find out that I don't like you within 10 minutes of being there and we go to coffee instead of dinner, I can just fucking leave. I can just get the fuck out of there. If I go down to the coffee shop with you and we get coffee, I can just leave. I can just fucking leave if I find out you're a nut job. And if you think I'm a nut job, you can just fucking leave. It works perfectly. That's why coffee is like one of the better date options. Especially when you're just meeting somebody. But no, coffee's for brokies. You should be happy that I want to spend time with you and I want to fucking get to know you. But now it's about a money thing. Why the fuck do women care about money anymore if they can all have their own careers? See what I'm saying? Like, it's the compounding greed. Maybe I'm just a conspiracy nut. I don't fucking know. But Megan was telling me she wants to be a psych major. Okay? Psychologists make almost 6 figures a year. They make like $98K a year. Okay? And her current boyfriend is on track to make a 6-figure job. What the fuck do you need $300,000 a year for? About. What do you fucking need that for? I'm being so for real. Like, maybe it's just because, I'm a person who enjoys philanthropy. Um, but I know most people don't even probably know what the fuck that means. What that means is I like to give my money to people who need it so I can make the world a better place. I'm not a savior. I'm not Jesus. I just want to give my money when I can to people who need it more than me. Okay? I give money whenever I can. I give 20 bucks, 30 bucks to charity every so often. But like nobody does that. Every time I find spare change, it's going in the donations thing at work. Every time. I don't care if it's $1, $25, unless I get a direct tip, which never happens, which is why I usually keep it. I give money to charity. I give money to charity. If I was making 6 fucking figures, probably 10% of my income would go to charity. So my thing is, if you're making, this shows you the compounding greed. So if women are making their own money, they want a man who makes more money than them. Always. Always, always, always. Women date up. So most guys have to date down, right? So say you're a 5, but you make 6 figures, you get bumped to 7. If she's a 7, you have to be an 8 or a 9 or even a 10, right? So if you're a 5, like I am, you're just a regular ass dude, you have to date the women who are at the bottom of the fucking barrel, right? You don't even get women that are at your level. Women always date up, okay? So if you're at a 5 here, you're right in the middle. If people would date and meet where they are, at their looks tier, or at their value tier, whatever, things would work. Because you watch Jack Morgan RLP, he said, when I was a kid growing up, fat people were with other fat people. Skinny people were with other skinny people. Skateboarders were with other skateboarders. You know, the tall dudes was with the tall girls. They were meeting together. The short dudes were with the short girls. You were kind of just in your own bracket all the time, right? That's better than being with someone who's below your bracket. Okay? I know everyone wants someone better than them or up on a higher tier than them, most people anyway. That does not happen unless you're a woman. That's the double standard. Again, you don't like. I've never been with a woman who was a higher value person than me. Never. And that's not coming from a place of cockiness. My ex-girlfriend was an alcoholic and she had no work ethic. Do you see why I left? Because I had all the work ethic and I was sober. Did she look better than me? I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Most people would probably put her on a higher position on the look scale than me, but I had enough work ethic to get up on the scale to get her, right? So, but she never wanted me to spend money on her, which is like very uncommon. But like, that just goes to show you, you have to either work your fucking ass off all the time. That's the thing about being a dude, is you work all the time, forever and for always. All the time. Like, I'm being so fucking for real. I work 5 days a week. I go to the gym 5 or more days a week, or I lift 4 at minimum. I go to the gym 4 days a week minimum. Okay? And I do a double workout. So I'll do chest and shoulders, or back and buys, and then I'll do abs and deadlift on the same day. And then I throw another cardio. So I do abs and deadlift like twice a week. And then I'll do cardio if I'm feeling frisky. I'm trying to gain muscle, so I'm not doing a whole lot of cardio. But I feel like I'm working all the time. And that's what a lot of other guys feel like they're doing. They're working all the fucking time. Especially if you go to the gym and if you're like doing a full-time job and you're trying to develop a skill. That's your whole fucking life right there. That's your whole life. And like, you're supposed to be doing that and looking for romantic prospect and looking for marriage or whatever. That's what you're supposed to do. But women can just exist. That's the double fucking standard again. And this is why the social contract is fucking not coming back. It's gone. Okay? Because men have to work constantly, Women don't have to do a fucking thing. Women are taught that at like early as hell, as children, that you're perfect and you don't have to do anything. And you can just be who you are. And that's great. As a dude, you're fucked. You have to work. You have to work to get your value. That's what guys are taught. That's what guys are fucking taught. Right? And that's just what's true. It's not even that's what they're taught. It's just the way the world is. As a man, you have to work to get on your level, or you're just going to be a loser. Right? If you're a guy who's out of shape and has no money and you're balding, you're fucked. You're fucked. Like literally, you just are. You're not getting any. You're a loser by society and women's standard because you don't have a job and you're balding and you're out of shape. You see what I'm fucking saying? Like, you're actually fucked. You're not, it's not happening. Right? So, good luck. Because without any of those, you're absolutely fucked. And this is what I keep saying to guys. I say to guys all the time. I go, look, you can have a good body, a good job, and you can have, interesting skills. You can't have all three. You can't have all three. Because, for example, I'm in very good shape. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm 160 pounds, lean at 5'10". That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, the creatine boosted me up to 160. I'd say probably right now I'm at 157. But anyhow, and I have the guitar hobby, and I can play. If I hear a song enough times, I can play it, basically. At least, like, the main part or the chorus. Especially if it's in drop C. Anyway, but guess what my job is? I work at the gas station. You can't have all three. And then guess what? If you get a really good job where you're there all the time and you're making a lot of money, you're on your grind, your hobby will slip. Or your body will slip. And now you're out of shape. You can't have all three. So, women literally take usually what they think is the most fun. Because I've had women appeal to, I've been appealed to women, sorry, said that backwards, for reasons I don't understand, and usually it's because I'm in decent shape. Usually. That's what it is. I'm in decent shape. Especially if your body, like I'm being so fucking for real, if your body game is better than the woman's body game, you will appeal to her. You'll appeal to her. I'm being so for real. Like, I'm in good shape. I'm not in phenomenal shape, but I'm in good shape. I always appeal to women who are out of shape. Or are average, right? That's who I always appeal to. I don't ever really appeal to women that I actually like. Doesn't happen. Does not happen. So, I gotta think of what else I want to say in this one. And like, that's the other thing, is like, being humorous. I know this video is long as fuck, but this will probably be the last one. If your humor is outside what the woman says is acceptable to have, you're fucked. Goodbye. Like, this is why I show you, like, men are expected to be, I don't know if this is from the Gooner brain books that these women are fucking reading, but men are expected to be like the ultimate, penultimate perfect human. You have to be fucking Superman. Because, for example, I'm not saying I wanted my friend to be into me. I think she was. But for her to be fully fucking into me, right? I would have had to maintain the body. Maintain the hair. Because for some reason women like longer hair. I would have had to have shaved my beard. Okay? Just to like I said, guys have to appeal to every facet of the woman now. So I would have shaved my beard. Would have had to become a left-leaning liberal. Would have had to have gone to therapy. Probably would have had to go to college. Those are just a few examples of the shit I would have had to have done. See what I'm saying? And this is why, again, the social contract is fucked. Because you want us to bend to your reality. Women want us to bend to their reality. There's nothing masculine about me doing whatever random women fucking want. Absolutely nothing. And that'll be another video. I have a new topic for another video. So this is probably it. This was kind of just the social contract 2. I'm sure the next video will be out before this week is even over. I might film it and then film it today and post it later. But anyway, thanks for watching. Look, there's my cat. I will probably talk about in the next video how men are becoming feminine and women are becoming masculine. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.